idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Bill. Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson of USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.
And good evening, Coyote fans. Welcome into Season 2, Episode 22 of the Howling Podcast, where we are mic'd up, nerded out, and ready for chaos. Chad Berger, Mark Wendt, yours truly, all ready to go. We will be joined with new friend of the show and titled Director of USD Track and Field Cross Country, Coach Lucky Huber of USD. Will be coming up shortly. We will also recap the week that was, look ahead to the upcoming week in Coyote Athletics, and then we'll close out the episode, as always, with our Maloney Real Estate Eyechart of the Week and our Dairy Queen Player of the Week. Some business first. Quick disclaimer, the opinions on this show are Mark, Chad's, and myself, and do not represent USD or USD Athletics. Social channels, you can catch us on X. Thanks for those joining live on X tonight. At HowlWithUs3, myself, Jordan Decker, at JD6OP5, Mark at WDiamond605, and Chad at Chad Berger, Birger, at Chad Berger. Welcome those joining on Facebook. If you don't follow us on Facebook, just search the Howling Podcast. Please like and follow. And as always, welcome to those joining live on YouTube. If you do not follow our YouTube channel, great way to enjoy the show live every Sunday night. Just search at the Howling Podcast. Please smash that subscribe button. Last but not least, Instagram, just search _Howling_podcast. As always, tonight's show is brought to you by our friends at 19 Brewing Company in Vermilion. So before we kick off tonight's episode, a quick word from Katie at 19 Brewing Company.
Looking for a place where good beer meets better company? Welcome to 19 Brewing Company, Vermilion's first craft brewery and home to Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale. Brought to you by 2 USD alumni, Coyote Legacy isn't just any beer. It's a chance to give back to student scholarships while enjoying a refreshing blonde ale. With 12 rotating taps, a flavor-it-yourself seltzer, and homemade root beer, we have something for every Coyote fan. 19 Brewing Company. Good beer, better company.
With that, we're welcoming in Mark and Chad. Good evening, fellas.
Hey, guys.
How we doing?
Oh, that was a fun week, wasn't it? I had a great time.
It definitely was, especially Thursday.
I'm getting over a little sinus thing. So my week started great, and then it ended pretty.
No one cares. Mark, what happened this week?
I'm just going to go ahead and see again.
Women's basketball picked up a couple wins this past week. North Dakota, 62-39 domination, and over Denver by 20, 75-55. Men's basketball had yet another split. Home win over Kansas City, where we were at. We'll talk about that in detail here at the end of the show, 99-83, and then went up to the Great White North and Grand Forks and lost 96-80. Tennis was up in Sioux Falls, trounced Mount Marty 5-0. And track and field, we'll get into the details here real quick with Coach Huber. The alumni meet was this past Saturday. All the results are on goyos.com, 17 individual titles. We'll go through some of those with Coach Huber here.
All right. Well, Jordan, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes, longtime Yote, and the current director of track and field and cross country. We've been waiting a long time, 2 seasons, to talk in depth on track and field. We're really, really excited to welcome in Coach Lucky Huber. As you can see, this picture, Coach, you remember taking this picture back in March at the Summer League tournament. It was a little bright in the room. I remember that.
A little bright, yes. And my arm, I had the wrong sleeve on that day.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Go back. Is that a what?
It's not photoshopped at all. No, not at all.
It's like Elmo and Big Bird combined down there.
Our graphics department is, they're working on things.
We're
Okay?
still working on it,
Yeah,
Coach.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm just glad to be included with the picture with you guys, not be left out. So,
Well, Coach, if it's all right, let's just get started with what happened this last weekend. What were you impressed with? Just, for a lot of our listeners that may not follow track and field every event, just kind of, what's the roster look like? Talk about this last weekend and who's impressed you?
well, I think there were a lot of things that kind of were exciting. It was kind of our first meet. We go to a little meet before Christmas, but we really count this as kind of our first meet. Everybody's back, and most of our kids were training. We did have a few kids that we rested. We didn't run all of our distance kids. So it was really more the sprints and field events that kind of dominated. But our throwers really looked good. Was really impressed with them. Delaney Smith won both the shot and the weight throw. Looked great. And Tristan looked great in the shot put through about 57 something, which is a really big improvement for him. So that was a good group. So it's fun to see the throwers kind of coming around here. Kyle Long, who's our throw coach, does a great job with those kids. And a lot of them are 4th year, 5th year kids and really starting to step up. So that's an exciting group for us right now. Long jump and triple jump was good. Long jump probably better than triple jump, but we had some really solid performances there too to start off the season. High jump, we won both the men's and the women's there. Both those kids, Joe Lynch and Maddie Olson, jumped well for us. The other field event that really popped out was pole vault. For those of you that kind of follow us a little bit, you're probably aware of our pole vault tradition and dynasty or whatever you want to call it there. But we've got a really good, solid group of pole vaulters in there. You'll see Kalen there on the top of the list. Kalen was the number 2 kid in the country last year, and he's a freshman for us this year. So we got some big expectations for him. And Wyatt is really, really coming on here. And we think that we can get maybe 2 or 3 of these kids to the outdoor national meet. So we're really excited about that group. You go through the list, some of the kids at the bottom, like Townsend there, he's actually a decathlete. So some other, if you do a lot of different events and we kind of work through the track meet and do some things. On the women's side, we were led by Emily Grove. So she kind of won the alumni part of it there. Emily's been around here for probably about 12, 15 years. It seems like a long time. Has a post-collegiate career, travels all over Europe competing, but trains here with Derek. So she came out and jumped. And then as you can see, the rest of our kids really had a solid performance. If you look over on the side there to what would be the right-hand side, you can see what their national rankings are. So it's kind of exciting to see those kids really in our first meet already pop up into the top 20 in the country. And we hope they can continue there. In the sprints, really great. Ethan Baszler is just a really good, solid sprinter for us. He ended up winning the 60. And we feel like he's the type of kid that can also make the national meet also. The national meet indoors, you have to be in the top 16 in the country. So you are in a pretty elite group to be able to do that. But we feel like he's someone that can come in and do that. So, overall, it was a lot of fun. We had the alumni part of it. So we had some alumni. We had some older kids reliving their memories out there long jumping and triple jumping. And then we ran a 4x2 at the end with all of them and just had a lot of fun. So it's really what the first meet is about. It's just kind of getting the spikes started off, make sure they fit, try on the uniforms and get after it a little bit. And overall, I'd say it was a great success. And it was always fun to have a home meet to get parents and all their classmates to come over and watch them too. So it was a great day.
Coach, you had kind of gone through a whole list of different events, different types of athletes and things. How do you keep track of all the athletes and all the events? And you've got men and women and, throwers and jumpers and sprinters and distance runners. And how do you keep track of everyone?
Well, I joke that I'm the head cat herder. So it's my job to kind of keep everybody pointing in the right direction. But I have a great staff that I work with, just some great coaches that really do a good job of taking ownership of their event group. Derek's an example of that, takes ownership of the pole vault group, is responsible for their recruiting, their training, their academic success, all of those types of things. So each event group kind of has that point person that they do that with. And then I think I have the advantage of having been here long enough that I worked with those kids when we brought them in for recruiting. Sometimes it'll be kids that I even coach their parents, so I can develop those relationships with them. And then I work really hard at trying to maintain those relationships in a mentoring role, to try to help them, even if they're, let's say, a distance kid or a thrower that I never trained with. I still want to have a strong relationship with them and be able to help them, whether it's what major they should be looking at, or the other day we were working at trying to help a kid that's graduating find his first job and calling some people to get him some job interviews. So it's just trying to be invested in that. And that's what I enjoy about coaching. It's not the X's and O's and the workouts. It's really those relationships you get to develop with those young people. And I'm very fortunate at USD to have been here for so long that I can really buy into that and worry about that instead of some of the other things that people have to worry about as coaches.
Sure. Coach, unlike Chad and Jordan, I did not graduate from college. So I have a very, maybe perhaps a stupid question for you. But when it comes to scoring track and field, obviously, if you finish first, I assume you get more points. And if you finish last, you don't get as many. But I'm looking at a result from last year. We had 151 points. The team below us had 126. Is that a blowout, or is that a close meet? And and the other thing I notice is sometimes there's half points. How do we get a half point?
Well, lots of good questions. Let me start with the last one. If it's a tie, then they split the points and add the points and split them. So if you and I would both tie for 8th place in a track meet, then we would get a half point. Where if I got 8th place by myself, I'd get 1 point. So one of the things about college track and field is we don't do a lot of scored meets. Our big ones that we do, where we get really excited about, are our conference meets. And in those events, you score 8 people. So the top 8 people score, and it goes 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down to 8. I think I got all of them there. And so if you win, you get 10 points for your team, and it kind of builds from there. So a lot of our meets, we don't do that, just because at a lot of our meets, not everybody runs every event, or there's not as much pressure to kind of have to go out and push your kids quite as hard. Versus we get to a conference meet, we'll have someone like Marlene, who's our top pole vaulter, also over in the high jump trying to score 1 point. Or you'll have someone maybe run an extra event, or you'll really load up your relays. Where a meet like we had this last weekend is more developmental. We're just kind of doing little things, just trying to get people ready for that conference championship. In track and field, we have an indoor season and an outdoor season. So have a conference championship and a national meet indoors, and then we take a week off, and then we roll back out to the outdoor season and do the same type of thing. So I think I got all your questions there. Didn't I, Mark?
So, yeah, just one follow-up to that. So when I'm looking at the results and it says NTS, I assume that's one where we're not keeping team points.
Yep, no team score. Yep.
Okay, very good.
So great
Coach,
question.
if I may, I want to jump back to the importance of the student part of the student athlete. You're part of your career too is being an academic advisor for the student athletes too. How important is that, not only in recruiting, but once they get here, to maintain? Because our student athletes are great at USD, but I feel like track and field always tends to have students that are always at the highest end, near that 4.0, right? So like when you're out recruiting, how important is it for not only the student, but the parents to be like, hey, they're not only going to get one of the best, track and field experiences, but attending the University of South Dakota academically is going to set them up for success, career-wise too. How important is that in recruiting?
Well, it's huge in recruiting. And so let me go through a couple things. I spent 15 years here as the director of academic advising. So I was working with non-athletes also during that time. And then I was fortunate to start the advising for athletes program with Dave Lorenz and Becky Jensen. And I hired them before I transitioned to full-time in athletics. So I have spent a lot of time in there. It's very passionate to me. I'm a big believer in, if a student's going to go to college, that we need to help them make sure they get that college degree. I hate this idea of a kid coming to college and, spending time or borrowing money, paying student loans, all those things, and then not graduating. So to me, graduating from college is a really important step there if they're going to make that commitment to attending. Part of it is what you mentioned, is the recruiting process. Part of it is, almost think of it as a screening process. Most high school kids are not good enough to come in and help us their first year. So if we're going to bring someone into our program, we have to know that they're going to be able to handle the academics of the university so that they can develop and get strong enough and fast enough. By the time they're a junior and senior, they're still going to be here and not flunk out. So that's a small part of it. The other part of it is we have a certain profile of students that attend the University of South Dakota. And this isn't meant to be a slam on the school up north, but if you're really interested in designing buildings and farming and those types of things, then you pick that school to go to. If you're really interested in business and law school and want to do something in the medical area, maybe be a teacher, those types of things, then you pick USD. So trying to help students through that part of the process before they come really has students understanding why they're coming here, what's expected, and then we're able to help them kind of stay focused on what they do. But, I think a lot of our athletes do very good here. It was part of when we were Division II that we were really proud of. And I think it's been really good that the university has been able to continue such a high academic standards for all of our athletes. I think every team had above a 3-point this last year. And that's really impressive with Division I athletics and all the travel some of these kids are doing. It's just really impressive what all of them do. So a big part of that is also the Becky Jensen and Wendy over in the academic advising for athletes area. They do a super job. Almost all the coaches have the parents meet with them in the recruiting process. So that develops that relationship and those kids know they're going to be able to get great help here. And the last thing I can't leave out of this is really the faculty at USD. The faculty really embrace helping all the students, but especially the student athletes, and understanding there's going to be times when they are going to be gone, but working with them so they can be successful. So I think there's a lot of things that go in play in that. I'd say I'm just a little piece in that whole puzzle.
Absolutely nailed it. Just the advisors are great. Becky, Wendy, Dave, when he was there, I had him actually for a couple of years. I could have switched advisors, but I'm like, I'm keeping Dave.
Right. And that's really what you want to do is you want to have a young person come in and find someone that can mentor them. And Becky does a great job at that. She's been our track advisor for a long time of holding them accountable, but not making them feel bad if they're having a struggle. So they can still come in and ask for help, but they also know that I got to go to class and I got to do well, or I'm going to disappoint my coaching staff and Becky and those people around me. So I think our athletes do a really good job of that. Our women's GPA was like a 3.7 something last semester, and our men were like a 3.2. So I always tell our guys, go study with the women. They're a lot smarter than you guys.
Coach, two things here. Number one of the cool things, that you see a lot of times is the student athletes develop tremendous, relationships with their professors, as you mentioned. The basketball team is a professor of the game. Have you thought about doing a professor of the meet for home meets?
That is a good idea. It would be hard to pick because in my 30 some years here, there have been so many professors that have made difference in our track kids' lives. It's really impressive how they do that, and I have so much respect for our faculty and that they are understanding that that's part of why a student athlete comes to school. You know what I mean? That's not the typical student picks it to get an education, but when you're an athlete, you kind of got two reasons you pick your school. And so it's pretty important that you go on Thursday to Kansas City and you're gone, and your class, it's not saying your classes aren't important, but it takes a balance there. So I think our faculty do a really good job of helping students balance that and working with them. And then I think there's a lot of things that Becky does behind the scenes that makes that work also, so that kids are maybe not missing as many classes. And, that was probably the best thing about COVID and Zoom is you'll be on the road and the kid will be like, well, I'm watching class right now, coach. The teacher put it on Zoom for me. Didn't miss anything today. So that's really cool that our faculty do that. So that's a good idea, Chad. We should start recognizing a few of them.
Well, so second part of that, it feels like so many of the programs on campus support a lot of the other programs. So a lot of times, you'll go to a football game and you'll see the entire volleyball team there, or you'll see the whole entire basketball team there. You go to a basketball game, you'll see the swim team there, or you'll see the soccer team there. And, USD has done those Code Red events as well. And last year I went to the tennis one and I saw almost all the track and field athletes out there supporting the tennis. That's a cool thing. And like how big of a deal is that for everyone at USD to support everyone else?
Well, it's super important. Go back to my experience here when I was a student athlete. Some of my best friends were on the football team. So I learned pretty quick that what they went through, and you get to see them in the training room. And so I've always been that person who did that. I married a women's basketball player. So I always went to a lot of the women's basketball games and got to develop that relationship with her coach, Fred Tibbetts. So I always think that that's the cool part is getting to know the other athletes and supporting them. It's hard though, because they're so busy and you got so many different schedules, but it's really, really the college experience. And it's great for recruiting. It's, when you sit there and you see those kids and they're cheering and they're having fun, it just builds so much confidence. I think it's super important. And I wish our student athletes would do better at it. I wish all of our students do. I was really impressed the other night at the basketball game to see all the Greek students at the game. That to me is what it should always be like. And so I think we do okay at it, but honestly, I think it's something we all need to do a little bit better at, and probably as fans too, just make a commitment to be at everything and support every event. So if everybody does that, I think we could even have some better experiences. But shouts out to the Greek houses for being there the other night. That was so much fun, added so much energy to it. And wish we could get every athlete to be at every sporting event, but that's difficult to do. They're busy. They're working hard. They're getting that 3.7. But it was a lot different back in the days in the Dome too, where we were all in one spot and we saw each person every day, and every coach saw every coach. So it's just something we need to keep working at and trying to improve.
Mark, before you go, we do have some comments from people out there and, that are watching the program. One of them, Dustin Evans, commented and said, really enjoyed my time as a student athlete, tons of support from the staff. And then Dr. O, loved the athletic academic advisors. We were so blessed. So some great feedback there, based on what you said, Coach Huber.
Well, and Dr. Oyen's a good example that she's new to the role of faculty athletic rep, but what that person does is really important because they're the conduit between our faculty and our athletic department. So when there is an issue, Dr. Owens are able to go in there and kind of help smooth that out and have the faculty understand. And she does a phenomenal job of educating our students on what our faculty expect. We expect you to be in class, and we expect you to communicate before you're going to be traveling and things like that. So there's just so many people behind the scenes that make USD athletics so special, and they never get recognized, but they work really hard and they really do a great job for Coyotes.
Coach, you mentioned earlier, of course, just casual, or not casual, but general Coyote fans like myself. Obviously, we know who Derek Miles is, and the other person on your staff who I recognize name-wise is Maddie Labin. But could you give kind of a rundown of the other folks on your staff? Give them a shout-out if you want to, and what they do.
Yeah, it is a great staff, and that's a good point. Remind me of doing that more often. So Derek, most of you know, was in 3 Olympics. He graduated from USD. I actually coached him and then talked him into coming back here and being our pole vault coach. But he does so much more than that. He kind of handles the multi-eventers, but he's kind of our quality control person, making sure everything in our program is done at a high level. We got a great distance coach. His name is Nolan Fife. Nolan spent 6 years at the University of Illinois, and they had a little head coaching shake up there, and we were able to bring him here. He's got 2 young daughters, built a house out at Bliss Point. Just a great family, and we're so blessed to have them here. Tybaski Lewin is our hurdles and sprints coach. He was our first Division I male All-American here at USD in the hurdles. And so he's been here probably 10, 12 years now. Moved to talk to his girlfriend, now his wife from California, to move out here with him, and just a great member of our community and works really hard and does great things with our athletes. And then we got Kyle Long. Kyle is our throw coach. This is his 3rd season with us. He was originally from Pennsylvania, threw at Arizona State, and then came up here and works with our throwers. And he has a post-collegiate that he also trains. Maggie's a world top 5 shot putter that threw with him at Arizona State, and she trains up here and is around our throwers a lot and helps them. And then we have a new director of ops this year. Her name is Bailey. Bailey Johansson, and competed for North Dakota State, did some other things, and now works with the Jumpers and is our director of ops. So that's kind of the main core. And then we use people like Matt Hoyt and Coach Gottslavin when he's around, and Maddie Lavin, and a lot of different people to kind of help fill out our team and have that more one-on-one, so every kid gets some help every day. But that's the 6 of us that are kind of the true tested every day at the grind type of thing.
Coach, I know that this info is available on goyotes.com, but I kind of want to shift to the new indoor track facility that was announced last year. How involved are you and the staff with the planning of that, with the ADs? And can you just kind of remind folks of what the Gasson Family Fieldhouse, what that's all going to entail?
Sure. I'm probably more involved than my AD wants me to be. John's been great at doing that. I obviously had a big hand. I had a big hand in developing the outdoor facility. So I think John has a lot of faith in what I want to have done and how I want to do it, but very hands-on. Take a lot of pictures when I travel. Been down to the University of Arkansas, and Coach Miles is on one side, and we got a tape measure, and we're measuring things and trying to see how they'd all fit together. So it's just been great. John and Corey have really been leading the way on this and have had me very involved with everything from what surfaces we want to put on it to the design, to just everything. And we think we can do something here in Vermilion that can be very special. And our goal is to build one of the best indoor tracks in the country. And I know that sounds like a big statement, but I really feel like we can do that here in Vermilion. So a lot of it goes back to Denny Sanford. Obviously people know that name, and he's been very generous. Mr. Sanford has a kind of a tradition of naming buildings after people that work for him. And Bill Gasson is the CEO, I think is the proper title, but he's the top dog at Sanford Health, and has done an excellent job for T. Denny and Sanford Health people. And Bill was a football player that also threw shot put here. But more importantly, he found the love of his life, a track athlete by the name of Jill here. Her name is Jill Kurtenbach. They met here, really became what they are right now, and they attribute a lot of their happiness in life and their success to their time at USD and being involved with the track and football team here. So that's really where the Gasson family got involved. Is T. Denny was able to make a big donation and wanted their name on it, and then they've kind of followed up and made another donation. So we're moving in a really good direction here to be getting this done. I think with everything that we've got pulled together, we're over the $42 million mark so far for the entire project. And that project will be a new indoor track, locker rooms, offices, everything, bleachers will all be in there. And then that'll also allow the remodeling of the Dakota Dome. The swimming pool's already been converted into kind of a flat turf room now. That'll become a new weight room. The east side of the dome will be remodeled. Some more donor areas for games, just a lot of things like that. And that'll eventually allow for the turf to be down all the time. So they can put down maybe a little bit higher quality turf that's going to be down all the time. So that's kind of all the pieces are going together. And we're excited about it and think that we're going to have a great facility. But just really, really happy that President Gestring's taken this step and pushing John Schemmel and Corey and I to build this great facility here. So we're excited about it. And hopefully 2028, 2029, somewhere in there, we're in our brand new facility, which will be great. We can train year round then. Sometimes we have to go over to Mount Marty or some different places like that to train now. But it'll be nice to be able to have that as our full-time facility.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Coach, our show, if it's got the South Dakota Paw logo on it, we try to promote it. And sometimes over the course of the year, when we get to track and field results, they're just kind of overwhelming. So I don't know if you have, how would you like us to promote your program when we're going through weekly results and that kind of stuff? Do you have any advice for us on how to cover that?
Yeah, that's a tough one because track and field's a hard. Even I find a time when I want to sit back and figure out all the things that happen at a track meet, and nobody really knows if 58 seconds was really fast in that 400 or was it really slow. So I get that part of it. I think the big thing is our home meets would be really big if you guys could help us promote that, so that we can get people to come out and bring their families and have people see our outdoor track meets. To me, that's the big thing. Then kids can get excited about the sport, and we can keep growing the sport. And once you come to a track meet, and especially in our stadium where you can sit there and watch the jumps right in front of you and all the throws are on the infield, I think you can really kind of get an appreciation for how special these track and field athletes are and all the work and dedication they put into it. So that to me would be the big thing. And of course, the conference meet is something we want to kind of highlight. So be happy to come back sometime and kind of talk about that too.
Coach, I know this can be last one from us. I know this can be a difficult question. No favorites, 2 events. Your personal favorite event to watch during a track and field, whether it's at championship level or to win the event, is it the 4x4? I mean, what's your favorite event, final event to watch in person?
Well, that's a tough one. I was an old pole vaulter, so I probably got a little bias towards that, but I'd have to go towards the 4x4. Part of what I love about the 4x4 is it can bring kids from lots of different events together. And if you have a good 4x4 and they can get out there, then everybody on the team can be out supporting that person. And so you kind of end with a really positive ending to the meet. So I like that. I think kids feel good about that. It's something that you can be a half miler and get a chance, or you can be a sprinter and hop on there, or a jumper and do some different things. So I think having a good 4x4 at the end of the meet is really there. But I think it's really special when you get a chance to watch some different events, like a hammer throw where you're spinning around in a 8-foot circle 4 different times and throwing something that weighs 16 pounds. So I have such a love for every sport and every event. But I really think that 4x4 at the end of the meet doing well is really a good way to wrap up a day.
Coach, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. We're definitely going to have you back on again, because I feel like there's a lot of topics we didn't get to today. Like, when should Mark hold up his eye chart at track and field meets? But we'll talk about that another time. How's that sound?
I would say when you're at the long jump board and you think that official made a bad mark on the board, then you hold that up, Mark, and we'll enjoy that. So I appreciate you guys. I want you to know that I'm sure all Coyotes really appreciate the time you guys put in on this. If we're going to be successful as a university and an athletic department, we need people like you guys that are out there spreading the word, telling the stories that maybe other people don't get to hear about how great Coyote athletics is, and really the whole University of South Dakota. I mean, we talked about the faculty tonight, but there's just so many great stories of so many amazing people that call USD and Vermilion home, and I'm glad you guys are able to share those stories. And hats off from me to you guys for doing this. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach. Friend of the show.
All right, fan of the show.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Thanks, Coach.
Oh, that was awesome.
You're right. I got a lot more questions.
I mean, we could have gone a full hour with Coach there. That was amazing.
He's so right, though. I mean, Chad, you've been around, and Mark, you bet. Like, some of the most exciting sporting events. Like, I personally, like, every year, I love going to Howard Wood. The relays up there. I mean, every event is, great. A+. We're still batting 1,000 here.
Yes,
on interviews.
We should ask them about one of the greatest photos of all time at the Drake Relays there.
Oh, we'll have to bring that up next time.
Bulldog.
Yep, next time.
Next time.
Well, we got a long spring coming up here. Yeah, a lot of episodes coming up. All right. Before we go any further, though, Mark, news and notes.
News and notes. As we mentioned last week, tickets are on sale for the USD Volleyball Annual Banquet. Always a great time. Get to mingle with the staff and the athletes. January 31st, tickets are on sale at the website, goyotes.com. USD Spirit Team placed second in the Nationals in the Open Spirit Program Game Day Division. So congrats to them. If you were at a basketball game here in the last couple of weeks, you actually saw that performance. Very impressive. So congrats to them. January 24th, this Saturday. Boy, it's coming. Get to Vermilion. It's going to be a fun day. Among other things, $1 Dome Dogs and all drinks, ALL, all drinks at that game will be $1. So
I'm going to speak on this for Chad. Do not let the weatherman scare you from attending this event on Saturday. You're going to see some bogus weather maps out there. Get to Vermilion. It's going to be a little cold. It's fine. Everything is fine. Get to the SCSC January 24th. Don't put me on here. I'm done. I'm done with monologuing here. We're done. Get to Vermilion for the game this Saturday. There's a lot of stuff going on. Get to the game.
Yep. Speaking of that, Tyler Roney was at the game on Saturday. I mean, Tyler, come on back. Okay. The weather's not going to be too bad. Guaranteed. Tyler Roney, clip Mark, go ahead and clip this. Tyler Roney, you are invited to come sit with us at the men's basketball game on Saturday, January 24th. Yep.
If the best weatherman in the Sioux Empire can make it to Vermilion on a cold day, so can you.
There we go.
It's a jersey night, I believe. So wear your favorite jersey. I know Jordan and I have our jerseys picked out for Saturday. I don't know if Chad does, but no, it's gonna be a great time. You got to be there. You won't want to miss it.
It'll be fun. There's other stuff going on too, right? Lots of stuff happened. But in addition, there's swimming and diving at home on Saturday.
Versus State.
This is going to be, we're going to go to that. I mean, Mark's going to bring the Eyechart over there. We're going to have all kinds of fun. So, yeah, I'm going to make a full day out of this. This is going to be great.
Dollar beers and Dome Dogs and Pops and Waters. Just want to reiterate
all
that.
Beverages, Jordan.
$1 Dome Dog. Well, yeah, but you got to lead off with beer. That's the leading seller here.
Yeah.
Want to reiterate that to folks.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's going to be fun. Well, let's go over a few of the things that happened this past week. Mark mentioned some of the results, so we'll go ahead and bring it up first. Women's basketball was hosted University of North Dakota on Wednesday night and dominated. Nothing else to say. Yeah. I mean, first quarter was a little slow, but that second quarter, oh my goodness, 22-3. And that 3 points came in like the last minute of the quarter. Correct. I mean, the defense and the rebounding were spectacular.
Defending and rebounding are a must.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it, guys. It was at halftime, it was 28-11. 11.
Yeah.
And then the Yotes came out in the second half and continued to outscore North Dakota in the second half as well. So phenomenal. This 62-39 victory improved the Yotes record to 13-5 on the season, 3-1 in the Summit League in front of a decent crowd for a Wednesday night. I mean, it's a Wednesday night, folks. I know I take my family to church on Wednesday nights. A lot of people do the same thing. And so it's always difficult to get out on those particular nights. But in this one, you can see some of the statistics here. Mark, go ahead and go through what you highlighted.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Chad, the second quarter was really where the game was decided. And North Dakota attempted 10 shots in that quarter. They made one of them. The other, so one 2-pointer and one free throw they made in the second quarter. That's it. One was at 15 from 3-point line, 6.7%. The clip of Coach Amy is the perfect way to describe this game: defense and rebounding.
Mark, what percentage is that from 3?
6.7%. If my kids were in the room, they would.
Individually, Molly Joyce had 20 points for the Yotes. Angie Robles had 15. You can also see a few of the other statistics that were highlighted here. Molly had 6 rebounds as well to go along with the 20 points. And then Patience Williams also had 6 rebounds in this one for the Yotes. Overall, Yotes had 31 total rebounds. As far as assists go, you can see some of the assists there. But Mark, you highlighted that 21 down at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, the only reason we didn't win by 100 is the 21 turnovers. And that's kind of been I think that happened maybe one other game here recently, but for the most part, that's just been an anomaly for this team. They take care of the ball, and that assist to turnover ratio is is really, really good normally. So that was probably the one thing that, you go back in the locker room and say, we got to fix this going into the next game versus Denver. So we'll find out shortly if they did that.
All right. Well, then on Saturday, the Yotes hosted Denver. This one was a little bit anticipated in front of almost 2,000 fans at the SCSE. And you can see once again that second quarter, some phenomenal
Defending and rebounding are a must.
Holding Denver to 9 points in the second quarter. And in this one, the Yotes walked away with a 75-55 victory at the SCSE, improving their record to 14-5 on the season and 4-1 in the Summit League. Mark, go ahead and go through some of the statistics.
Well, the first thing about this slide is they changed the format on me a little bit. So I used to be able to fit both teams' stats in one slide. Now I got to do it in two. Hope they don't stick to this format. But in any case, overall, it wasn't like an offensive juggernaut necessarily. 42% from the field, 30, I can't even read that, 34% from three. A solid offensive performance overall. Not great, but solid. Obviously, the defense carried the day once again. So, and Denver's numbers here are obviously quite a bit lower due to that defense in rebounding.
So yeah, you couldn't see those before, but it was 43% field goal percentage for the Yotes, 31% for Denver. It was, 34% from 3-point, 22 for Denver. So great here. Some tremendous defending and rebounding for the Yotes. And individually, Patience Williams, friend of the show.
Dominant.
You saw her here on the Howling podcast 1 week ago. The bump happened. Okay. Patience saw us on Thursday night again, and came out on Saturday all fired up and scored 21 points and 13 rebounds in this one.
No, it was great defense, though. It was. I mean, you look at Denver's box score. They had 2 gals in double figures and 1 at 7. So, like, defense, I thought our defense did a really good job of shutting down pretty much everyone on the floor.
Interesting time to bring that up while we're going through the individual statistics here, Jordan. Molly Joyce also had 15 points for the Yotes in this one. And then Elise Turbiatis had 13 points and Tori Schlegel had 10. So 4 Yotes in double digits on this one. You can also see that Angie had 6 assists and 6 rebounds and almost 10 points, 9 points in this one against Denver. Mark, you had mentioned the rebounding, 41 rebounds for the Yotes in this one and 15 assists. And so lots of good stuff happened.
Yep. Turnover number came down. Was it 21 versus North Dakota? We're down to 10 here in this game. So much cleaner. And like you mentioned, Patience Williams set the tone early with her scoring inside. And I don't know, it was 8-2, and it was basically over after that.
So during the game, a little milestone happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this one, Molly Joyce scored her 1,000th career point, not in one game,
That would be
but
a record.
1,000th point for her career. So excellent job.
Still got a year left.
So 2,000 coming up?
I mean, trending the right way.
Yeah.
No, she's really fun to watch. Very impressive ball handler, and obviously she can score it. So fun to watch her. Future friend of the show.
Hopefully. We want everyone to be a friend of the show, don't we?
Yeah. We should do twice a week.
We're going to have to do 4 times a week. Multiple guests per episode. We'll have to figure something out. Summit League standings are out. You can see North Dakota State had a big win this week. They knocked off South Dakota State. And so look at who's number 2 right now.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, USD. And, we got lots of opportunities coming up here. But, this is as open as it's been in quite a while. Any comments on that, Jordan?
Nope. Here we go.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on then. Men's basketball hosted Kansas City on Thursday. We were there. And this one, yeah, it was not even really close the whole way. I mean, I think the final score 99-83 makes it look closer than it actually felt like, but there wasn't much in doubt in this one. It was Yotes all the way.
Yep. Their most complete performance all year, I would say.
What started it off, Jordan?
Not a technical on you or Mark for showing the eye chart to Amy. That's what didn't happen. She gave us a look. I thought for sure.
She was having fun with it.
No, I know.
Edwin
But she
Young
smiled
and
and
Amy
then got
Bonner.
really serious. It was like she was smiling and then got serious. And I do it again. Watch what happens.
Oh,
No, she's made it big. She's refed in a Final Four, hasn't she?
WNBA. Yep.
Or WNBA Finals. That's what it was.
Not NCAA Final Four, but yeah, she's a very good official. So is Edwin Young, who was there. They were both good sports with the eye chart. So yeah, it was fun. Tremendous. We did the sip at the tip. We had that going on. We had lots of good stuff. I don't know, Mark. What else did we do?
Well, we got a lot of pictures. We'll get to those in a minute here, but it was Hawaiian. It was tropical night.
Yes.
Tropical night. Jordan and I had shades on. We all three had Hawaiian themed shirts on.
Shout out my brother for letting me borrow his giveaway shirt for the game. Very tight. It can't fit in large shirts anymore, but it's all right.
It was a blast.
That's a me problem.
It was. Well, this one, the 99-83 victory moved the Yotes to 10-9 on the season, 2-2 in the Summit League. And so you can see some of the statistics on here. Yotes shot over 50% for the game, 40% from three-point land, while holding Kansas City to 46% on field goals and only 31% from three-point land. The other thing that's very impressive for the Yotes this season is that free throw percentage. Yep. That has been up there just about every single game. And so that's something we've seen dramatic improvements on this season. 84%, 21 for 25 the other night for the Yotes. So good stuff. Some individual statistics here. Cam Fence. 31 points, 15 rebounds. He was 10 for 14 from the field. Okay.
Career high for Cam.
That's over 80%, isn't it? It's up there. He was 11 for 14 from free throw line. Just what a game. 2 blocks as well. I mean, just awesome game for him. Ice Bruns, who was on the program the other night. I've actually got here. I got one right here. Ice Bruns was on the program. And so, of course, what happens when you put them on the program and you have programs for people to hold up? Okay? He's going to put up over 20 points, and we're going to hold it up when he scores. Okay? Guaranteed that's going to happen. He also had 7 rebounds and 4 assists for the Yotes. Jordan Crawford had 16 points for the Yotes. Uzziah had 10 points and 6 assists in this one. It was just a good all-around game for the Yotes.
Yeah. The best they've looked all year, like I said earlier. They had it all going.
Now we've seen we've seen a little bit of change in the roster due to the injuries and whatever else, but I feel like, and I haven't done a statistical analysis on this, but since Silas and Trent have joined the Yotes, I feel like we've seen that assist to turnover ratio dramatically go in favor of the Yotes here.
Yeah. I'd be very curious to see that number, but yeah, it definitely share the ball way better than, or it certainly feels that way since they've arrived.
Jordan, any final comments?
No, good game against a lame duck team in the Summit League as far as coaching goes. So one of those games you got to win. And as Mark said at the beginning, it's not as close as it wasn't that close. Right. We kind of not really the best effort the last few minutes. I'm sure I didn't get to listen to the post game, but I'm sure Petey was along the same lines of we got to finish the game a little bit better than what we did. But yeah, it's a good win. Needed that win because of the next game coming up.
Well, so you mentioned the lame duck. Kansas City has announced that their coach is not coming back next season. He's done at the end of the season. Imagine
coach of the year like 2-3 years ago, and they just canned the whole coach. It makes zero sense. I feel awful for that program, but maybe there's more to it. I don't know.
Imagine getting fired, and then your boss says, "Well, we're going to fire you, but you know."
Well, hold on. Just finish out the season for us first, because I don't want to go through finding another coach. You know.
Yeah. If we don't have to get into it, it's curious. Why announce it then? It's so strange. But anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then on Saturday, the Yotes went up to Grand Forks and went into the Betty and dropped one 96-80 to North Dakota Fighting Hawks. In this one, drops the Yotes to 10-10 on the season and 2-3 in the Summit League. We'll kind of get into some of the statistics here. As far as shooting goes, North Dakota shot almost 55% from the field, 46.2% from three-point range. You know, it's one of those things where what is it that teams just always have tremendous shooting nights against the Yotes this season?
Well, this one was, I mean, look at the points in the paint for those listening. It's 50-28. If you watch that game, our defense, we could not stop their drives to the basket. Like it was as if on top or on the wings, like the guards were expecting someone to be there to help, and there wasn't any. And there were way too many easy buckets, I thought, in the lane in this game. And then, I mean, I think Evan Anderson or whatever, not Evan Anderson, but they have a guy named Anderson. He couldn't miss from 3-point line. So the points in the paint killed us, and second chance points killed us too. 24-5. Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I was watching that game. The amount of times two Yotes had their hands on the ball and we didn't come away with it, where I was yelling at the screen, like, grab the ball. Just grab the ball. But it is what it is. UND is playing really good basketball right now.
Absolutely. Individually for the Yotes, Jordan Crawford had 24 points, including 6 for 8 from three-point land. So good job by him. Ice Bruns, stop me if you've heard this before. Ice Bruns, over 20 points in the game. 21 in this one. Cam Fens continuing to be hot, had 13 points and 14 rebounds for the Yotes. And Silas Benyon had 10 points for the Yotes. So, you know, so some good things here. You can also see that assist to turnover number is in favor. 16 assists, 13 turnovers. So some good stuff happened. But yeah, unfortunately, kind of like Jordan broke it down there, just not able to stop them from driving and converting.
I think offensively, you take that most nights just based on the numbers. I didn't get to see it, but kind of something that's haunted us all year, especially on the road. We're 0-8 on the road, haven't won on the road all year. Just having trouble stopping them.
And we tried to change things up too. End of the first half, we went to zone, which I can't remember us doing that this year. I'm mistaken if we did, and then I think a couple times in the second half there, we tried to confuse it, but they were able to attack the zone and just finish at the hoop. And we just didn't have an answer for them defensively.
Yep. Well, where are we at then with the Summit League standings? Well, kind of same place the Yotes were last week, right in the middle. North Dakota State still at top of the conference. They had a big win over St. Thomas this week. North Dakota, they're a tough squad, folks. They're 4-2 in the conference. They're not a pushover. You know, they're playing really good basketball right now. And then you can see the South Dakota schools right there at 4-5, and you know, a lot of season left, and anything can happen. But you know, I kind of like where the Yotes are at, and some good opportunities coming up here.
Yep, good opportunities coming up. The teams behind USD, those are wins you got to get on the road and at home. And any one of them above, that'll help in the standings going forward. But we're in the midst of it, right? We're right in the middle of conference play. We're approaching that this week.
Well, who else is 2-3?
Denver, and then a school in the belly button of America.
Runza sucks.
Yeah. So Omaha. Okay. Well, we'll see. That might come up here in a little bit. Howling Podcast Player of the Week this week, Jordan?
Yeah, special thanks to DQ of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids for sponsoring our Howling Podcast Player of the Week. This week, it goes to USD men's basketball player Cam Fens. He had 31 points on 10 of 14 from the field. As Chad mentioned, 11-14 from the free throw line, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks against UMKC. And then he finished the week with 13 points, 14 boards for double-double, adding 2 blocks at UND. So this week's Howling Podcast Player of the Week presented by DQ of Vermilion, Hartford, and now Del Rapids, Cam Fens. Congrats, Cam. Friend of the show.
Been playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what a nice guy. I mean, we had him on here a few episodes ago, and just great guy. Glad to see him kind of stepping up right now for the Yotes.
A guy who really never puts himself in a situation or should never get a technical. Mark Riggs. Riggs. Should never get a technical called on it.
Right. Should not.
Well, the Rams won today, so I don't know if you guys saw that. So Mark Riggs will be happy. But what's coming up this week, Mark?
This week, men's basketball will be down in the belly button of America at Omaha. Wednesday.
Are you going to go to Runza? Are you going to stop at Runza on the way?
I will never stop at Runza ever.
Are we making a 3-day road trip? My God, look at this screen. Omaha. Sorry, Mark. Keep going. This is insane.
Saturday, the men will be home versus St. Thomas. We'll be there, 1 p.m. In the SCSC. Get to Vermilion. You won't regret it. Women will be at Omaha on Thursday, down in the belly button, Summer League Network, 7 p.m. And then a big measuring stick game for the gals at North Dakota State, who just beat South Dakota State, 1 p.m. Summer League Network on Saturday. Swim and dive will be at Omaha on Friday, and then home to South Dakota State on Saturday, 1 p.m. We're going to try to make an appearance in the Natty, as they call it. Tennis will be up in Sioux Falls to play Chad Berger's Sioux Falls Cougars on Saturday. No time listed. Track and field.
I think it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Everything's going to start 1 o'clock.
Right when everything
Saturday
else is happening.
Yeah, yep. Right. Okay. And track and field will return the favor and go up to South Dakota State's alumni meet up in Brookings on Saturday.
I got to add, though, like the men's basketball game, obviously swim and dive is really the only other true home thing of this week. St. Thomas is a top 2 team in the league, as we saw in the standings. If you can get to the game, I know we joked about the weather, and there's some fun events, dollar dome dogs, dollar beverages. This is a really important matchup for our guys' team. Like 1,200 people in the SCSC can make a difference, but on a Saturday in the middle of the afternoon, there's no football on anymore. Get to Vermilion, go support the men's basketball team. This is a huge game that can really help them going forward, especially after they beat Omaha in the middle of the week. So if you can, get to Vermilion.
Michael Sharp, are you listening? Jordan just called the shot. We're beating Omaha
on Wednesday down in the belly button of America in front of 400 people. We will beat them.
$3.99 if you don't call Michael.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Really important game on Saturday. Get to Vermilion.
All right. Well, this week we had some fun, guys.
We did.
I don't know. Talk us through some of this stuff.
So I'll grab the one in the middle. That was yesterday. The girls and I were at the game, and Caitlin was kind of keeping an eye on Coach Fessler there. Coach Fessler has some reading glasses, but they're always on the top of his head or behind his head. You actually never see him wearing them. So at one point, Caitlin looked over and nudged me and said, I don't know if that guy knows where his eyes are. So I snapped that pic just to remember that by. But and the other two here, the voice of the Coyotes, John Thayer on the left, and then just the three of us. You'll see that picture every week now. We made it our opener. We had a blast on Thursday night. Really did.
And of course, if Chad Berger's there, there's going to be selfies involved too, right? And so got some selfies with the Coyote Crazies, the student section over there, all wearing the awesome shirts that they gave out for the student section. Guess what, guys? The volleyball team was there. I never would have guessed they would be there. Yeah. The volleyball team was there. We've talked about on this show all the time about how great of a job they do of supporting other Yode activities. And so we were able to get a selfie with a lot of the volleyball players. The women's basketball team was there. They had a game the night before. They still showed up. Yep. And they were just awesome, right? We went over to them and talked with them for a quick minute, and they were great. And then, one of our buddies, Jay Elson. Jay Elson was calling the game for Midco, and gracious enough to take a photo with us here as well. So
I believe this is now the third straight event that you've taken a picture with the volleyball team that I've not been there.
Well, Jordan, you left, and
it was my own fault. It was my own fault. I went to go get a second round of beverages, and I ran into some folks, and we chatted for a while. And
you were gone for like 20 minutes. We had no clue where you were.
Maybe I was like the USD students, and I just grabbed a shirt and left the facility before the game.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we waited, we tried.
Nope, that was my own fault. Ran into some folks I hadn't seen. So
yeah. Well, and now
and that's just what they wanted to do there. And all things considered, again, as you see the Eyechart cardboard cutout, how appropriate.
Through the review, the Eyechart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
Our own Mark Wendt is famous for holding up that eye chart at men's and women's basketball games when officials make questionable calls. We give our eye chart of the week moments to questionable calls, whether they happened in games or in life. This week, and from now on, the eye chart of the week is going to be sponsored by Maloney Real Estate. More than just a sign in your yard. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, make sure to reach out to Maloney Real Estate. Maloney Real Estate offers a $25,000 seller protection, errors and omission policy included with every seller that lists their homes with them. It covers sellers for 180 days after the home sells. So make sure if you're looking to put your house on the market or if you're looking for something, contact Maloney Real Estate. More than just a sign in your yard. All right. So last week, guys, the winner was USD Athletics. Ooh. Mark, do you want to say anything?
I got a program ever since I mentioned them. So
yep.
Shout out USD Athletics. But I would say I've won 3 weeks in a row. Are you guys even trying, or what's going on here?
I think people got tired of my Notre Dame related, college football playoff related stuff. So now that that's done.
Oh, the Natty's tomorrow night, Jordan. Wait till Miami wins. Oh man, it's going to be crazy.
Indiana's going to win by 3 scores plus.
They will, but it's okay. All right. So Mark, you won. So it's your turn. Eye chart of the week.
I had some nominees. I kind of wanted to give it to Minnesota. I kind of wanted to give it to maybe Denver's women's basketball coach. But I'm going to give it to myself. Mark Wendt is my nomination for Eye Chart of the Week. I went to the Denver women's basketball game with the girls. I got a program. I sat down. There was a whistle I didn't agree with. I reached down to grab the eye chart, which was not there. I left it not in my car, I left it at home. It was in the garage. So for the majority of that game, Denver had way more free throws than we had. I believe deep into the fourth quarter, Denver had 18, 19 free throws. We'd shot 3. The officiating was not great, and the eye chart was needed, and I did not have it, the one thing I'm known for, and I failed. So Mark Went gets my eye chart of the week. I'll do better.
I don't even think we need others. I think that should just be.
Yeah.
We literally kick off this segment saying Mark Went is known for.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Jordan, you're up.
Okay. I would like to nominate a local podcaster by the name of John Gaskins for my eye chart of the week. And my reasons are as follows for this video that Chad will play.
There's going to be other podcasts and Twitter sites with people who cover the Jacks. Hey, can you plug me? Or why are they even talking about us? You know, Howling Podcast. Chad Berger, Mark Went, buddies of mine. Follow their Twitter as well.
Did you notice a missing name in that, fellas? He forgot. Yours truly, Jordan Decker. No, John hosts a local podcast, Happy Hour. It's great. Covers a lot of different topics from time to time. We'll have USD related stuff on there. Great interviews. I'm really not as active as Chad and Mark on Twitter, but I do exist. I have feelings. I have followers that are not robots and other things. I matter. I'm a part of this show. I'm just kidding. I can't go down that road. I really had a good week. This was as nitpicky as possible. So I guess, John, sorry, but you get my eye chart of the week.
Well said, Mike. Well said.
Yeah, good job, Mike. Did you notice your name on the bottom?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mike Wazowski. Yeah. Yeah. That's appropriate. All right. All right. Do I have to explain what that means like I did last week, or can I just let that go?
No, just let it go. People get it. Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give my eye chart of the week this week to NFL officiating. Obviously, if you've watched any playoff games over the past 2 days, you know that, number one, every other play is a pass interference penalty. Number two, inconsistency in calls happens. Obviously, NFL needs to figure some stuff out. Not great. NFL officials, you get my eye chart of the week.
There is a fan nomination via Instagram. Chad Berger, roughly a year ago from now, won the eye chart of the week for failing to dress up for Tropical Night, despite having 43,000 tropical shirts in his closet. This was not good enough for this Instagram fan who noticed in the picture we showed earlier, Jordan and I with sunglasses, Chad without, and Chad not wearing a USD themed Hawaiian shirt. So they nominated Chad Berger for the eye chart of the week because of those omissions. So I thought it was a good step for Chad, but this particular person did not. So Chad Berger,
boy,
eye chart of the week.
Am I glad I switched shirts mid-game? Oofta.
We got. No. This is USD's fault for not giving out size large. Okay. I haven't fit into a size large since 1992. Okay. We need to figure out how to get some extra larges or double X's for people that are, normal human sizes here. Come on, USD Athletics.
I don't know, Chad. When I put mine on, it was pretty stretchable.
Shut up! you put it. You couldn't even touch the button to the buttonhole, Jordan. What are you talking about?
It's all damn push-ups.
Oh my! Okay, all right. Wow.
Just reading.
So wait. So to recap, we've got Mark Went, Chad Berger, NFL officials, and John Gaskins as our 4.
Yeah.
God, I'm off the hook and it feels so great.
I'm going out to Instagram right now. I'm getting receipts for this.
He's important. We don't want to irritate him. So
I might.
I feel like we could get a lot more. Can we change our settings on videos to post anonymously? I feel like there'd be some people commenting that normally wouldn't because of their names. I don't know.
I saw who it was, and I blame USD Athletics, so it's their fault.
See, I got rid of Instagram, so I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. It's USD Athletics' fault. So if you're going to vote for that one, then yeah, that's bad. That's all I'm going to say. And who wears sunglasses inside? I need to be able to see.
It was really nice. It was really nice.
Great. You know what was really great is, well, no, I took them off for the national anthem, but right as soon as it was over, I put them on and looking up, and it's not like right in your face. I felt like Jack Nicholson. I'm not going to lie, at Staples Center. I felt so important. It kind of boosted the ego. You should try it. It's nice. It's good.
Yeah, Chad Berger needs some more confidence, some more ego boost. That's the one thing I'm lacking in, guys.
That's a good point.
We need to go home. We need to be
all right.
We're wrapping up.
All right. Mark, tell us about 988.
988. So I posted something earlier today. Someone mentioned to me that this past year is going to break records for the number of male suicides in the United States, just shatter records. It's the leading cause of death for men under 50 in the United States. So with that in mind, that's why we're doing this here every week. So 988 suicide crisis hotline, no judgment, just help. You call them, you can text them, you can chat with them. They'll get you the help you need. It's a wonderful first step. It's not going to solve your problems, but it's a good first step. So please, 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 if you need it, reach out and take that first step, and we'll get you to sunrise and go from there. So we need you around. So don't give up.
This isn't just a slide we're putting up. Mark means it. We mean it. We're a message away. Your family, friends, they're a message away. If you need help, seek it. Use 988. We're here to help too.
Amen.
Special thanks to our sponsors, 19 Brewing Company, DQ of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids, and Maloney Real Estate, more than just a sign in your yard. As always, I'm sure we screwed a bunch of stuff up. We'll try to do better next time, but as always, the Howling Podcast is produced by the Wakanda Peach Company. I'm wearing the hat. Until next time, go Yotes.
Go Yotes. Good night, Vermilion.
Let's go! 3 idiots on a podcast. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Runs sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Bill.
Oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened. Just
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson with USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.